From off-the-court moments that people remember more than the actual game, to the mysterious new players who suddenly drop by the court to serve a touchdown. Let's talk about some hilariously awkward sports moments you need to see, starting off with some family problems. There was a time when Austin Rivers told the refs to call a technical foul on his dad late in the fourth quarter as the Rockets were pulling away and going on to win 102-93. Rivers was arguing with the referees over a call. Austin decided that his dad needed to be teed up and made the sign for it with his hands. The referees gave in and set up the Clippers head coach, much to the happiness of Austin, who had made the motion several times while his dad could see him. Doc Rivers was kicked out of the game, and Austin gestured, "Call me." Okay, not gonna lie, that's sick. In a good, funny way, of course. Rivers the Jr. ended with just 7 points. But hey, he helped tee up old dad and get him kicked out. I don't know about you, but that's a win in my book.
Did you enjoy the last couple tees of the game?
I did. I love him. I mean, it was a really good moment, though. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you, I really did enjoy that.
Then we have moments where weather malfunction was a real thing, like when the Patriots used a snowplow to clear the field goal area against the Dolphins. The weather kept the Dolphins and Patriots from scoring in their game on December 12, 1982, and after New England missed a field goal attempt at Schaefer Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, it seemed like no one would score. After the host didn't clear the cold and icy field for the Fish's attempt, they asked the snowplow operator to go onto the field and clear a spot for New England kicker John Smith to try to make his attempt at the game-winning field goal easier in the AFC rivalry. So, Patriots head coach Ron Meyer told Mark Henderson, who was driving the snowplow at Schaefer Stadium, to go out and clear the field for Smith's 33-yard attempt. And he did. Northeast won 3-0, and a legend was made. Even funnier in retrospect is the fact that the snowplow driver wasn't even supposed to be there. He was actually on a work release program from a prison somewhere nearby in the Boston area. Speaking of being in the area, let's not rule out the animals who can quite literally drop by without any warning. That's exactly what happened when a squirrel scored a touchdown in the Louisville-Kent State game in 2017. On September 23, 2017, Louisville played Kent State in a non-conference game at Papa John's Cardinal Stadium, with the score at 21-0 in the second quarter. The fans in the stadium that day saw an interesting development. A squirrel was on the 45-yard line, and since there was no Kent State or Louisville defenders around, the squirrel ran as fast as he could on his 4 legs across the Field Turf Revolution turf and right into the end zone for a squirrel's touchdown. You best believe the crowd went wild.
Man, he's my favorite squirrel. Look at him. Oh, poor guy. He's tired. That's not a very good celebration. He's working on his celebration. Worn out.
The number 19 ranked Cardinals went on to win the game 42-3. So if he had a little squirrel football, the squirrel scored 6 points that afternoon in Kentucky, while the Golden Flashes could only score 3 points that smoky afternoon in the Lou on a second quarter field goal. It's hard to say which of these strange sports moments is the strangest, but I think I might have a very strong contender, aka when a flying dove is killed by a fastball from the Mariners' Randy Johnson. But if you want to be a bird that gets killed by a pitch, you'll want to be killed by a 6'10" MLB Hall of Famer like Southpaw Randy Johnson, right? On March 24th, 2011, Johnson, whose pitches reached 102 miles an hour, was pitching against the San Francisco Giants in Tucson. In the 7th inning, he threw a fastball to the plate, but a dove flew right into its path in front of home plate. The Grand Canyon State was full of bird fireworks. People who were there didn't know what they had just seen. But if you're a bird, maybe it's better to be hit by a Johnson fastball and die quickly and painlessly than to be hit by a Phil Niekro knuckleball and die slowly. Either way, it was super shocking to watch.
Johnson has had pitches clocked at as much as 102 miles per hour in Major League play.
When it comes to accidents and unknowingly making dumb decisions, Cowboys Leon Lett fumbling on Thanksgiving Day in the snow kinda ranks highly on my list. On Thanksgiving Day in 1993, DL Leon Lett of the Dallas Cowboys picked up a loose ball after a blocked field goal attempt by the Miami Dolphins. He ran the wrong way down the field with the ball, casually making NFL history in the process. With only 15 seconds seconds left in the game, and the Fish down 14-13 at an icy and snowy Texas Stadium in Dallas. Pete Stoyanovich tried a 41-yard field goal, which was blocked by the Cowboys. So, I mean, Dallas wins, right? Well, no. After the blocked field goal attempt, the ball rolled away without doing any damage. Lett decided to go after it, touched it, and it rolled down to the 1-yard line, where it was picked up by the Dolphins. This sets up a game-winning field goal by Stoyanovich. The point spread for that game was Cowboys -10, and the total was 37, so Lett's actions didn't affect ATS or totals bettors. But safe to say, anyone who bet on Dallas to win that home game straight up lost because of his funny mistake.
The Dolphins pull it out. 16-14.
I think there's more than one instance when one player will mess up the chances for an entire team. And this kinda happened to the Dolphins too, when their kicker Yepremian tried to throw a pass in the Super Bowl. Another funny thing that happened with the Dolphins special teams was in the Super Bowl in 1972. Miami finished the game with a perfect 17-0 record, but when the kicker Garo Yepremian tried a field goal with the score of 14-0, it was one of the funniest things in NFL history. Yepremian was sent in by Miami head coach Don Shula with less than 2 minutes left in the game and the NFL's only perfect season on the line. He tried to make it a 3-score game. When he thought back on that moment years later, Shula said he thought it was going to be great if Garo kicked the field goal, and which would make them finish the season 17-0. What a great way to remember the game that would be. But whoops, he did what he said he did. After the kick was blocked, the Cypriot American place kicker didn't hit the ball out of bounds. Instead, he picked up the ball and tried to pass it, which he was terrible at. The mangled pushed pass ended up in the hands of Redskins DB Mike Bass, who returned the ball down the sidelines for a 49-yard Washington TD. Ending this all is probably the cutest moment I've seen in the sport.
Holding, and this kick is blocked. Yepremian has it.
When Yankees player Don Mattingly ate kids' popcorn in 1992. Hall of Fame first baseman for the New York Yankees, Don Mattingly was chasing a foul ball down the right field when he realized it was too far back in the crowd and decided to eat a quick snack in the house that Ruth built. When the crowd, including a little boy in the front row with a box of popcorn, looked to see where the ball landed, Mattingly calmly reached into the boy's popcorn box and took a handful, and they made eye contact. I think we all had an elaborate aw moment when we saw that. Both the player and the little fan were silent. Donnie Baseball, you can have some of my popcorn. It's fine, man. In this game of life, we're all in it together.
Oh, the popcorn, that's one of my favorites. So everybody's kind of looking for the ball, and this little dude's looking right at me. He's got this barrel of popcorn, and I said to him, can I have some? And that's the look I got. He just like looked at me like, so I took it.
And that's all for the hilariously awkward sports moments you'd need to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.